What's up, YouTube? It's all about comics. We're here for another live chat. And today we have Archangel's with us. I mean,
What's
it's an amazing
up?
thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? Look at you. Like, where have you been? What have you been doing?
Just been trying to get back in the game, I guess you'd say. Trying to pay off some bills and now get back into it hardcore a little bit.
Okay. We have the new daddy, no homo, MercWith AMouth. He is here. How do you do?
I do. How about you?
I do too.
Okay. That's good.
And then we have the legendary Comicfan.
Not legendary quite yet. I haven't done anything that good. Not well. Hey, let's get to that in just a second. Who's legendary right now? Okay, let's cut that crap out. We'll get to that in just a second, right?
I don't know, man. Anybody who gets 94 up to, was that 200? X-Men?
Oh, I'm getting there. 11 more issues.
11 more
Almost
issues?
there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah.
So, we're missing somebody.
I miss them too. Can you feel it? I miss them, man.
It's just not the same.
All I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to talk about funnies. Funny books. Bongos. Like bongo-style comics, Rick and Morty's, Simpsons, all those funny books. We're going to talk about those. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about something else. Because he's here. He hasn't been here for a while. So we got to talk to him, find out where he's been, what he's been up to, and what the hell did he just buy. We're going to start with Comicfan. Go ahead, Comicfan. Go ahead and talk to this young man, Archangel.
Oh, Mr. Archangel. Can I call you Mr. Archangel?
You call me whatever you want, I guess.
All right.
Got
So
the mic.
this guy right here, he plops down an outrageous amount of money on what's a Grail book to you, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Here's my Grail book.
Cut to the chase. Cut the shit. You bought a German reprint variant. Is that? Are we correct here? What are we talking?
Yes.
About one of them.
It's a German variant by Michael Turner.
Michael Turner German variant for how much?
$11.25.
$11.25. We're not talking about $11.25 here, people, are we?
We're not talking pesos, no. No pesos.
Okay. We want to know. I'm sure everybody is asking us right now. How does that feel to drop that kind of money without blinking an eye? Just bam, done. It's yours.
Felt great because it wasn't my money. I flipped
Not
enough
your
books
money.
to make those.
That's nice. It hurts a little less, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I was playing with house money. Playing with house money at that point.
My next question for you: does it, once you find out that you've actually have spent that, it's gone, done, out of your PayPal account?
Yep.
Is there any shock out of that? Do you finally get that rush saying, yes, I have it, it's mine, and then have the sudden rush saying, crap, I just spent a ton of money. Even though it's not yours, you say it's not, house money, it didn't come out of your pocket. You still, the numbers are still there. Does that have any kind of reflection on this? Does that hit you just a little bit? Because I know it would hit me.
For me, not really, because that's the book I've been wanting for 2 years now. So
Okay.
it really doesn't bother me if it's my Grail. If that's what the book you want. That's like somebody's, I don't know, Amazing Fantasy 15. Like, if that's your Grail, if you can obtain that book without spending anything out of your bank account personally, then I don't see why you would have a problem spending that money. Just like
Granted,
going to.
You prepared for this. You amounted the funds up to obtain this book, right? So this is what you aim to do anyway.
Correct.
Okay. I got nothing else. That's it.
Yeah.
You guys got anything to add to this? Because it's like, the defense rests.
I have no remorse. I mean, because like I said, it's not like coming out of my bank account. It was coming out of books I flipped and sold. And
Well, I know for me and Frost, one of our Grail books, our Grail book is about a $2,000 book right now. So
Yeah.
I understand that, like, if you see that come out of your bank account, I'd probably be like, oh, fuck. My wife's going to kill me.
And this is very.
But, I mean, it's just one of those that you don't look back on. You just get, yep, I'm done. I got it.
You don't even
And
look.
walk away.
You don't even look at the receipt. You hit purchase
Walk away. You're like,
and just run. So we gotta.
You just see somebody like this in the.
Right. So we got a lot of people going on in the chat, man. That's for sure. We got King of the Golden State, Bruce Zayas, Rebel Comics and Gaming. We got Silos. We got J Rod Ham. Let's see here. We got Comically Flawed. What's going on, boys? Let's see. Anybody else sneaking here? 74 Gun, Murfinator, Tat. Man, it's going.
Big E's, King.
Big E's. The Big E's coming in? Yep, there he is.
Yeah,
What's
Big
up, brother?
E's.
There he is. So we got a bunch of people in here. So now that was a segue into our next topic here. You flipped a lot of books to go ahead and get this Grail book. Now you did go ahead and have a few. You had a video, flipping 101 that you did recently, which was a good video. But now you got some people here. We got Big Live Pop and Chat. What are Murph? What are some things other than being patient? As you said, be patient, right? That was one of the things. You got to be patient with what you're doing.
Correct. Yeah.
What are some other tips that you might want to give some of these guys who may be newer to trying to flip or real skeptical about flipping because they don't want to, they don't want to get lowballed by something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
What are tips that you can give out?
You've got to not be attached to your books. Like, you've got to be like, if my Grail comes up, I don't care what I have to do to get my Grail book. I don't care if I sell everything in my collection to get that one book that I've always wanted. You've got to treat it as a business, basically. And you got to be disciplined. You can't spend beyond your means. That is a big thing that people get trouble with very quickly. You can rack up a lot of debt very easily in this game. You just got to definitely spend within your means and do your research. Be in a niche. I think you can't collect everything. Like, I think it's impossible. For me, I like collecting modern variants. That's what my niche is. So I learn as much as I can about this little niche I have. I don't know much about Silver Age, Bronze Age. I really don't know much about those. Like, I know first appearances, but I wouldn't know anything about, minor keys or anything like that. Who wrote the story? Or I'm into artists. I'm into collecting art. I think it's art to me. Like, comics is art to me. So I look at myself as more of a collector than a reader, and I go off that. I think if you keep tunnel vision of what you want to collect and not try to keep up with the Joneses, as I say, then I think you'll be okay. But you got to be disciplined. I think that's the number one thing. If you're not disciplined and you're a free spender, it's going to be very hard for you to be a flipper, if that makes sense. Because
Right.
once you flip something, you got to pay yourself back for what you just bought, if that makes sense. So if you buy something for $5, you sell it for $15. First off, you got to realize if you sell it on eBay, you're only going to get about 85% of that $15. So you automatically say 85% of $15 is probably about $13, let's say. Now I got to pay myself $5 back. So I really only have about $7 on my PayPal account that I could spend. But most people would be like, oh, I sold it for $13. That's what I have on my PayPal account. They forget to pay themselves back, if that makes sense. You gotta reimburse yourself and just don't spend what you don't have in PayPal. Treat your PayPal like a bank account. That's what I do. So that would be my first tip. You know,
Okay.
become disciplined.
Well,
And-
I mean, becoming disciplined, and and
you have to be
true to your bank account. Basically, don't live with outside your means.
Oh yeah, definitely don't do that. 'Cause anybody can go to eBay and buy a $3,000 book and flop it on a credit card and be like, "Yeah, look at this."
So,
No idea how I'm gonna pay it off. Damn it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
So 74 Screw Gun asks, and there's a couple questions in here, so we're gonna get to these questions and ask you. So you're on the hot seat, bud. First day back on the job, and you get to talk the most. 74 Screw Gun. He wants to know, where do you sell your books?
Where do I sell my books?
You're the only one we're talking to.
Oh yeah, mainly eBay. I try to sell it on Instagram and Facebook, but it's hard selling books on there. It is for me, unless you're doing like raffles and stuff. But I've tried raffles, but they don't work for me because they take too long. They can take up to like a week and a half to close a raffle, and then you gotta collect your raffles, and it's like, fuck me. By the time that hot book that you're trying to sell is not hot anymore.
Right.
So
So mainly just eBay and stuff like that is where you go ahead and try to sell all your stuff.
eBay is the largest comic book store on the planet, so
Mhm.
if you got a hot book, you can pretty much sell it pretty quickly on there.
Okay. Well, the next question was from King of the Golden State. Now he's in the high flying club of spending big money on books.
Yeah,
but,
that's Daddy Warbucks there.
Yes, but Daddy Warbucks was more towards the Silver Age and possibly
Yes.
Bronze Age with some certain things. You modern.
Yes,
So
definitely
Daddy
modern.
Warbucks here, he says, what's next for the high flying Archangel? That is a good question because you got your Grail. Is
Yeah.
it a one and done?
No, there's always another white whale out there you can chase. Definitely.
What are you chasing? What are you looking to chase?
Right now, I'm in the works to try to get a lot of huge variants that I can flip pretty quickly and make about 500, 600 bucks off of. So I'm in the works of doing that right now. Hopefully that'll take tomorrow. Hopefully that'll deal will close tomorrow, and then I'll probably go after that Delato X21 variant. It'll be my next grail. Probably.
Look at you.
That's what I want next, probably.
No slowing down for you, man.
Oh, hell no. Why stop now?
Well,
Right.
exactly. Especially with variants in the modern books, you really can't
Yeah.
slow down, and you have to strike while the iron's hot.
Correct. That's one thing you got to do. You've got to, if you like that, Detective 850 is starting to cool down a little bit.
Right.
It's already starting to cool down. So I just sold my last two today. So luckily I got out before it's going to cool off a little bit, I think, for a little bit. So
There's always a lull between the initial release, the press release of what that's first
The
Gotham
movie,
City Sirens, correct?
correct, yeah.
And then the actual movie or a trailer, what have you. By the way, people in chat or our respective viewers, the book that you just purchased over your right shoulder, correct? Is that what we were speaking of?
Yep.
Yes.
That's my girl.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. Do you want to see it? I'll show it off.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know you will.
Come on now. You should have grabbed that to begin with.
Well, I didn't know I thought we were going. That's not what you sent over. That we were
Hey.
talking about this.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey now.
Don't drop it.
Oh yeah.
Jinx.
But yeah, there she is.
All right, let me click this button here. Boom.
That glare is pretty bad on that though.
You see me?
So. But yeah, that's it. And when I unboxed it, somebody asked about the green label. You can't get this without a green label because on the back here, I don't know if you can see, it's got a 147 written here because there's only 400 of these made, and so they write what number you got. And in CGC's infinite wisdom, they're like, oh well, we didn't verify that 147 was written on the back, so you get a green label.
So let me ask this: if you took it and sent it over to CBCS, could you get it verified and then not get a green label? Or is that
what am I
something
going to what am I verifying that somebody wrote 147?
somebody wrote with a marker on your fucking book?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would just it's just something weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
like, you can't be like 147. It even says on the label, it's like 147 written on back cover in marker.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I know. I seen that.
Hilarious.
When you told me there was one on there on eBay, I was like, what? And you said you're going for it. And I went and I looked at it and was like, well, all right. And I was reading it all. And I was like, damn. And then what was really good and what made me feel really good for you, if you were bidding on it to win, was the seller on eBay. That seller is a really good seller.
He gave me like a 2% discount, like if I signed up for his email or whatever. So I got like $20 back. So I'm like, man, fuck,
nice.
$20.
He's a really good seller. We're not going to mention the name because I don't want people going to my eBay honey hole.
That's your eBay honey hole?
That's our eBay honey hole.
Yeah.
So there was another question in the chat, which, you know, we all haven't really sat down and talked about it yet. So we'll ask the question. Again, we still all haven't talked about it, figure out what was up. The question was, is Archangel back on the show?
If you guys want me to be back, I don't care. I mean, I took a break because I needed to take care of some personal things,
right?
Family things. So
is your break over?
Yeah, as you can tell.
Yeah. Have you not noticed all the videos popping up? This guy started hanging out contest videos and haul videos and beer videos, and I mean, he's doing it live.
I'm full board, man. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to be back on the show. Yeah, I like it. I miss you guys.
We miss you too, man. But we'll get to talking about that after the show. We'll figure it all out and stuff like that. I know Merc, he doesn't want to come around no more. He hates us. He said, "I have a kid. It's more important than you guys." I was like, "That's malarkey."
It's bullshit, man. No,
my firstborn.
Congratulations, man.
That's right.
Fruit of my loins.
Fruit of my loins. There was another question in the chat. Oh, it was, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking New Belgium Accumulation. It's their winter lager. It's very good if you like winter lagers. Well, sorry, it's an IPA. My bad. If you like IPAs.
Well, I'll tell you what. Comically Flawed damn near hit it on the fucking head. He was like, it looks like a New Belgium. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Yep.
It's pretty good.
It's their winter IPA.
Pretty good. So, do you guys have any questions yourself for
you know what? You did say to have patience in obtaining your Grail. Did any of those books slip through your hands before you obtained this one? Were there any ones you came close to that just wasn't the right time, or you didn't win an auction?
As far as my Grail?
Yeah. Was there anything else that sprouted up?
Every time
I missed it.
Every time that book comes up, it only comes up about maybe 4 times a year. But every time it comes up, I did pass on one right before I stopped for a couple of months. I think I told Frost. I could have bought one for $600, and I passed on it just because I didn't have the funds at the time, and I wasn't in a place where I could, purchase that at that moment because I had medical bills to pay. So I was being an adult and not, slapping down the credit card and throwing it on there. So
that's where he goes back. Do not throw a book on credit card.
No,
right. I was about to add to that. Frost, you and I talked about obtaining your Grail by credit card, and we did explore some options such as the PayPal credit card, and it turned out that you were going to pay pretty much like $200 extra that in order to obtain that Grail. Now, the payments were nice because it was spread over an amount of time, but then we actually did the math, find out how much you were going to get, how much it was going to cost you to obtain that Grail, and it just wasn't financially feasible.
Nope. It was crazy. I mean, the payments on it was decently good, but it just, I mean, you had been paying what was like double At the end of the day, I think it was.
How much was the percentage rate on it? Was it around
It was like 14 to 19.
14%. Yes, 14 to 19%, which
No.
accumulates over time. It accumulates quite a bit. So if you take into account something that was about $2,000 as a Grail book, and you tack on the, almost close to 20% in interest, that does, it puts you in the hole quite a bit. So obtaining your goal, like you said, like Archangel said, does take patience, but you do have to be financially responsible.
Yes. At the end of the day, it's just comic books, right? To burst everybody's bubble. We are just buying comic books. It's not worth you losing your house over or missing rent payments or anything else like that. I mean, you will get another shot. There will be other books and other times to take a chance, and that's coming back to not being attached to any book you have. Like, I sold books that I was attached to, but I'm more attached to my Grail than I was any of those books I sold, and I can always get those books back. I can't get this book maybe 3 times a year, but I can always go online right now and get a Batman Adventures 12 if I wanted, or a Miles Morales first appearance, or you just got to realize that if you're searching for rare things like that, then you got to jump on it when it is.
Right. It's funny, Seeking Near Mint, he said you guys are really busting his balls for getting his Grail. Hey, we're not busting.
No,
we're acquiring, because not all of us, have spent that much kind of money on their Grail. And I know, like Merc said, him and I will be spending that kind of money, so we will definitely know how it feels eventually. And apparently, I'm supposed to fire you. Oh, because you said comics aren't. What is it? You're saying it's not. It's just comics. It's not just comics. That's what King of the Gold say. He's saying it's not just comics, and then he's telling me to fire you. It looks like he's trying to start a petition.
That's fine, but I'm not going to put comics in front of my family or my livelihood. Sorry.
Right. Evan even says, "Love you all, but my books are more important."
Hey, to each his own. To each his own.
Right. Exactly. So, Mr. Silent, Merc.
Yeah.
You got anything for this man? He just came back. You got anything for him?
Blow my kiss or something?
Welcome back. Don't take a break like that again.
Right.
Yeah, I will try not to.
Now get back on your homework and start helping us out. There we go. All right.
So
back to you, Frost.
No, thank you. We do have a question here in the chat, though. It was one I was going to get to. I'm not quite sure on this. I don't know if somebody else may have heard of this or whatever. Seeking Near comments. He says, question to you guys: What is your play on Seven to Eternity? I don't know. Is that a book?
Yes, it's a.
Yeah, it's a book that came out a few months ago.
I've never heard of this book.
It's
everyone just started going crazy about it.
Raw books are going close to $100 for the first.
You remember when Monstrous came out?
Yes.
And then the second print came out 2 weeks later, and that was flying off the shelves and going for $400.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's a low print run. It's not a low print run. And it's just going for a stupid amount of money.
Okay, well, you're Mr. Independent, and it sounds like an independent, right?
It is, actually.
So
it's IDW, I think.
Oh, that's not independent. It's IDW.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of the independent label.
Okay. Okay. I believe you.
But I wasn't interested in it, so I didn't pick it up.
All right.
It's sort of on the line of Animosity, right, Merc? I mean, that and Animosity are...
Didn't pick that up either.
I know, but I'm talking about the...
Oh, price?
Yeah.
It's from Image. It's not from EDW. Thank you very much. Seeking Near Mint just corrected you. And apparently there's an echo. Someone got to figure that out. There's an echo on our mic. You guys hear it? I hear it.
I hear a little bit on your
it's from you.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's because of where you're sitting. No, I hear it now.
Is it me?
Well. It could be from.
We're just gonna
Joe.
we're gonna move on with it. Sorry everybody that there's an echo. Can't really fix it on the fly right now. So is this book good?
I don't know.
I've heard Animosity.
It didn't
really
look good.
And then
Animosity
I've heard,
is good, yeah.
I've heard Seven to Eternity is hit or miss. You like it or you don't like it. So
Yeah. From what I've been told, is 7 to Eternity is like a post-apocalyptic book. From what I've been told, I could be wrong. I haven't read it, so.
I haven't read it either. But I would flip that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I ever find it, it's going.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, he was saying he just wanted to know our perspective on the title. King of the Gold State would like to know, where the hell did you get that silly ass hat?
Man, busting my balls tonight.
He's busting your balls.
I know,
That's
right?
great.
I got this silly ass hat when I lived in Utah. This was my snowboarding hat. So it was cold as balls today, so I had to wear it. High of 10 today.
How much snow did you get?
Not a lot.
Shit, I got like a foot.
I know, right? I think we were on the very edge of it. We already got like 3-4 inches, maybe.
Right. So
I definitely got 4 times that.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
got
you guys got pounded of it.
we got our stuff. What we're talking about today is about the funnies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you guys looking for that? We'll talk about this right here. What are you guys looking for that is not a key or a spec movie book? Something people should one for the sake of just collecting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What is a book that's not a key issue, that's not a spec book, that you guys are looking to go ahead and collect? Let's go, Merc.
I'm going for the Bronze Age horror books. I mean, a lot of those aren't really keys. Like, some might be like a minor key, but like stupid, crazy amount where they're like $1,500-$1,600 books. So I mean, any of the Bronze Age horror books is what I'm going for.
Okay. What about you?
The ones that I really want is Frankenstein. Those are the ones I really want because they're just really hard to find.
The Frankenstein books?
Yep.
Didn't GDJ Rod, shout out, didn't he just get the very first appearance of Frankenstein? He has the first, second, and third.
Savage Tales. Savage Tales 1?
No, we're talking about Classics Illustrated is what he just obtained.
Oh.
Yeah, Classics Illustrated. That's first Frankenstein.
It may actually go a step further into the Golden Age. They did have a cartoony appearance of Frankenstein that was back. Oh, although I don't have the title on me at the moment. You'd have to give me a second and have to go do a bunch of Googling and stuff because I didn't have that on hand.
Well, it was something I didn't expect this guy.
I wasn't expecting that question.
Right. Well, it was on the list. Well, I mean, either way, GDJ Rod, he just got a very beautiful copy of that. And GDJ Rod saying X-Men 40 is the first appearance in Marvel, but I'm talking about in comics.
Right.
So that's funny. He's in the chat. That's great. What about you, Brandon? Mr. Ark? What are books that you might want to collect, just on the sake of just liking the book and the cover? That's not a key issue. Like, I don't know, that Wonder Woman behind your head there.
That's actually a key issue.
How is that a key
I don't know
issue?
if that.
Because it's a low print run and it's
That's not
like
key.
stupid hard to find.
That's definitely not key. Key issues: the first appearance of a character, first appearance of a sword.
Then my whole list is key issues. I mean, is what I'm collecting because they're all for the
That's what he
cover.
collects.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
There's nothing that's out there that you're collecting that you might just want to go ahead and just pick
That's
up.
the first appearance of Steampunk Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's right. Steampunk Wonder Woman.
There you go.
And
Key issue.
Steampunk Harley and Steampunk Batgirl. Like, I really want that X23 #1 Del Auto variant. That's my #1 on my list right now. That Captain Marvel #1 Adam Hughes cover, I want that. But there's like 12 more like that. But I am Scarlet. I don't know if you guys are reading that, but I really like that series. I'm just finished a trade paperback for that. That's a really good read by Bendis. So I highly recommend getting that.
Okay.
So I like that.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, the Scarlet is one that was recommended by Triple C. He recommended that book to me.
Yeah, he reads that too. Yeah, it's a really good read. But it did get optioned for a TV on HBO, so I don't know if that counts. No, I didn't think so.
Doesn't count until it's actually made. So.
What about you, Joe? I know you probably got some stuff that you might be running around looking at it.
Yeah, I have a little different take on some of these things. Sometimes a key is not necessarily a first appearance. It could be a simple costume change. Classic costume change would be maybe a Daredevil #7, a classic from the yellow costume to the classic red costume that everybody likes.
Or that early Silver Age appearance of Submariner in that one.
Yes, very much so. I can also would consider a key such as let's take a main character's first appearance into let's say Hulk #1 through 6, the very first series. Wasn't a very long series, very expensive book. So what I try to do, I try to look at the book right after that series. That would probably be Tales to Astonish #59. It's his first appearance since that series was done. It's his first appearance into a major Marvel title, such as, like I said, Tales to Astonish. So it's not so much the key as the first appearance, but it's his first appearance starting to get into a main title and eventually coming out to his, again, his first ongoing title. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Something else is a major, not such a major key, but a major thing happening. I have a soft spot for main characters, siblings, or something of that nature. So if you were to go and spin off of, Aquaman's Mira, or something like that, that's something I kind of look into. That's not something to speculate on, but it's the next step over. Where if you can't afford the major character's appearance, speculate on something else that revolves around that character's life, and you're more than likely to hit upon something.
Right. Okay. So what is it that you're looking to grab, though?
Me, actually, funny thing you say that. I am actually looking for the what do you call it? Tales to Astonish #59. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, other things about that. I'm into little niche things that would remind me of my childhood. Things of cartoons that I watched growing up. Things that, like I said, give me a sense of nostalgia, bring me back to my childhood.
Right.
Things I watched back then were Battle of the Planets, old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. If I could get a first appearance of that, not necessarily keys, they're not hot on the market, they're not the in books, but if I could get like a first appearance of Astro Boy, what else did I write down?
Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey, there you go. Great Hanna-Barbera stuff. Yeah.
I got that.
Joe, don't you have one?
I have two, don't you?
Oh, I have one too, yes.
Oh,
Bastard. I know,
like,
I don't have that yet.
it's a good book.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I know. So there you go. My 2 cents there.
All right. For me, I'm going for Scamps, the old Dell or Gold Key. Either one. Doesn't matter to me as long as I find them. I know that Gold Key is the reprint for the Dells, but I'm still going to go ahead and grab them. And then like Comicfan was saying, he's going for things that nostalgia stuff. So going for Transformers now, Volume 1 of Transformers, that went from a 4-part miniseries to an ongoing. Just want to collect the stuff that are collect that. I'm always going out finding Yosagi Ojimbo, old Yosagi Ojimbo, whether it be from Fantagraphic to Dark
Mirage.
Mirage are good, but I found doing a lot of research, man, that Mirage was very, very, very short-lived, and it was the work that he wasn't too happy with. So I don't think he had his all into that.
Well, can I interject just a second?
Yeah.
Now, they also did some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Mirage, did they?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't really, I wasn't impressed by any of the things that Mirage did. And then that's just my opinion. But so, yeah, I did get that sense of it, that they didn't actually put a whole lot of work into it. I don't know why. I don't have the reason why. But when I look back at those, not their best work.
Exactly. And then even Stan Sakai said that, he's always happy with what he's done, but he also said he wasn't too happy when he was working with Mirage on his own books. So I might not grab it. If I see something, I'll grab it. You know what I mean? But I definitely am working on the early Dark Horse and Fantagraphics. Those are what I'm going to be going for.
With the early Dark Horse, 1, 2, and 3 are labeled 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3. Those ones, they were only supposed to be like a 3-issue, and then they just kept going with it.
It was supposed to always be ongoing, but that's crazy. Maybe it was probably for a short storyline that they were doing.
No, so you remember when I found all those signed ones, and I did that video? Come to find out, the 2 and 3 are issue 2 and issue 3 of that ongoing Dark Horse series. Like just a mini series.
It's interesting. I have to do some more research on that one. But that's what I'm. Those are things that I'm looking for. There's nothing crazy keys. They're not even any keys, really. Yeah. I mean, I just want to collect stuff that I like and enjoy and read. So that's what I'm doing. Same thing with my Submariners. I just got some Submariners from Evan. Evan went ahead and sent me some Submariners along with some risque style books in the Gentleman era, which I'm going to do a haul video on those. Or I won't even call it that kind of because hashtag hookups by Undisputed Frost trademark. Those I'll probably do a video of that. Oh yeah, it's trademarked. So some people like Fourwayflashers cannot use it. So yeah, I will definitely be doing that here shortly. So we're gonna move on to the next topic that we have on this, and the next topic is the humor comics, Rick and Morty, bongos, spoof stuff. Why do we love comedy in comics? You know what I mean? But why do we value the funny books over the superheroes? You get what I'm saying? Like, why do we value those things more than those superheroes? Funny books. Why are they closer to most people's hearts than these superhero books? Let's start with you, Joe. Let's see what you guys think.
All right. Now, to me, I can't say that we could prefer one over the other. To me, I kind of started with the funny books because I wasn't introduced to comics right away. I was introduced to cartoons first, which were funny. And when I was getting ready to read, the first thing I started to read were comic books. So naturally, I made a progression from cartoons to comic books, and I had to have something funny to capture that kind of attention. Now, I can't say that I favored them over that. I do think you can have a healthy balance of both. However, that healthy balance kind of comes at a price. You can take the humor that you find in Deadpool, and I'll let you guys follow that up. But back in my day when I first started reading comic books, there was a balance of, strangely enough, there was violence and humor. I was introduced to a book called Boris the Bear, which was violent and funny, but for reading material my age, not age appropriate. So to think that you'd have favor one or the other is basically personal preference. I just think I was introduced to it the wrong way, where I took violence as something that was humorous.
Okay. What about you, Art?
Man, I don't really read a lot of funny comics, I guess. Like I read Calvin and Hobbes, I guess you could call that was funny back in the day. That was good humor in the newspaper, but I guess because it's a satire. It was a satire on real life. Like they would make fun of like politics and stuff like that. So, Garfield would do that as well. So, I just think it's a break from the monotony of, of superhero books a little bit. If you want to take that spin on it,
right?
Superhero books can get a little repetitive. So, it's kind. I like even like four kids walk into a bank. That's funny to me. Like their humor is hilarious. I love the way they write their books.
Dry humor.
Yeah, it's funny. Like English humor, I'd guess you'd say. Like Monty Python humor.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Likes that say me.
What do you? What about you? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I really only read Calvin and Hobbes, like Art. I mean, that's what really introduced me into it. I do like a lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff because, I mean, I grew up watching those kind of shows like the Jetsons, Hong Kong Phooey, stuff like that, because those were hilarious to me. Even if they were reruns, I still grew up watching them. Just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just love those. Bring back good memories for me. Watching them with my little brother and my family and stuff like that, and then reading them, it brings back, because then you can be like, oh, I remember this episode. I've watched this before. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Well, for me, it's same as you guys. Reading the books, like Calvin and Hobbes. When I say books, I mean like my mom and dad. They went ahead and they got me the trade paperbacks, if you will, of Calvin and Hobbes. I had like all of them. Read those. Those things were really good. Another thing that I thought was funny was reading on Get Fuzzy. That's another one that was in there. But for me, for now, I do enjoy the funnier books. The Rick and Morty's. I'm never really. I don't read that. I know that's what GPAP does. GPAP, he does read the Rick and Morty's, and I hear they're funny. I don't read The Simpsons. Again, it's just something that's not for me. But I do read funnier books. I mean, I did read I Hate Fairyland, comedy, funny book right there.
Shit was funny.
I enjoyed that. The Scamp that I read, it's cartoon funny. I enjoy it. I have a good time with it. I'm trying to think about slapstick, funny as hell. A living cartoon in the Marvel universe, hilarious. I mean, having these funny characters and these funny comics and these funny comic strips, I feel are very good. Because when you go and crack open a superhero book and you start reading the repetitive stories over and over and over, because the big twos, they don't want to move on from their characters because they're so iconic. Batman's, Iron Man's, Captain America's. I think they need to start moving on. So when you don't move on, you get repetitive stories. You get stories that have already been told, but told in a different in a different form from that writer's point of view, I guess. Yeah, am I right, Joe?
Well, I would elaborate on that. I do think that going to humorous books or cartoon books gives the writer and the artist as well to concentrate on something that's not so serious, very simple. You don't have to dive into like these complex storylines. You know, it's very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. When I read the old Gold Key books, those were just fun. Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, things like that. There was nothing really complicated to dive into. Just simple fun and hilarious all at the same time. So I would say that if that's something you're looking for, by all means, look for that over a superhero book. It's not supposed to be something complicated. It's just very lighthearted and fun. Bring the fun back into some comic books. Yes, you can have a superhero aspect, and like I said, yes, you can have here some humor with a superhero aspect, just like you said, slapstick, Deadpool, things like that. Yes, they can coexist. They just have to be done right.
Exactly, and I mean that also goes to one of our good favorite fun people is Chris Girusso. I mean, he has his own book of G-Man. That's a superhero character he created, and it's a comedy. It's a comedy book that is superhero based, and it's awesome. It's an amazing thing. I mean, he does his short funnies, each week. What's that, Joe?
Yeah, very very interesting. You brought that up because Chris Girusso actually takes a very very heavy nod towards a comic strip aspect. He's and I believe in one of your interviews, he actually gave a nod to Charles Schulz, which is the creator of the Phoenix comic strip. So it all comes around all together that here is a guy taking humor into a superhero aspect, but borrowing from a comic book strip.
Exactly. Just to touch on what you were saying about some of the other characters. You got Harley Quinn, the Deadpool, the Teen Titans. What is that? Teen Titans Go. All right, there. Big E said it. Teen Titans Go. He says it's funny as hell. We can get that in our superhero stuff. I also think you get your Spider-Mans, but I also think if you go ahead and you run over to the kids section of the comic books, you can always get some great superhero funny stuff along with regular, Donald Ducks, Mickey Mouse, Popeyes, Three Stooges. I just read the newer Three Stooges stuff. Wow, it's funny as hell. I wish my comic shops were getting them, and I would have picked it up, and I would have known that. Funny. Three Stooges, classic. These are really good, and I just think that when you go ahead and you read funny books, man, it breaks the seriousness of those other books. You know what I mean?
One more thing I'd like to add, as far as funny books, it's not so much it's geared towards the kids, but I find very entertaining. Bringing my kids up into the enjoyment of reading comics books, I broke them into Tiny Titans, Itty Bitty Hellboy, and even introduced them into Star Comics. Star Comics that was a spin-off of Marvel. Brought up the comic books of the Care Bears, who else get along? Ewoks, droids, things like that. Very humorous, very cartoony, and very lighthearted, and geared towards kids. But yes, I read them as well.
Well, I mean, it's a good topic. We could probably go on for a little while on this, but we're gonna go ahead and call it. It's about to get to that hour mark, so we're gonna go ahead and call it tonight. I appreciate everybody that came. I know the Nine Claw. I said he wanted to slap me last time.
Damn.
Right. He's back with us. Gore Vandal, he's been in there. He's been saying some really good stuff. He's been talking about Battle of the Planets. He was talking about another book. Let me go look, which was very interesting to me because he was talking about the writer and the artist. Let me look real quick. He was talking the 1970s Shadow comic run by Danny O'Neill, and the other invariants were inexpensive, Jim, especially Kalada's art. That's a book that I'm not familiar with, but it sounds very interesting. Just the shadow. Joe, do you know anything about this?
Is it from a DC Publications, I believe?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say.
Okay. Well, I
Did you say 70s?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's
Yeah,
DC.
DC.
Then. Yeah.
DC. Okay. So yeah, he's in here. He's throwing out some really good things. Again, Battle of the Planets was another one. So to everybody that's in the chat, Big E's, Gore Vandal, Nine Claw, Screw Gun, Marky 316 was in here. Jeff Johnson was in here. Evan popped in, but he dipped out.
Rage was in.
Golden State. Rage was in here. Rebel Comics, AG Surfer, Near American Comics. Tat was in here. GD Rod. To everybody that has all came in. Greg's Comic Book Quarter, Silos. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. That's it. You guys got anything? Oh, bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Glad to be back.
He's glad to be back. All right. Talk to you guys.